Another steal. Allen hits the deck. Look out. The lead balloons to 39. That crossover was absolutely filthy. 2 shots coming up, and now the electric rookie Jalen Tyson kicks it out to Harden. Boom! James Harden gives the Cavaliers the lead as he drills the jumper. The beard has arrived. But let's rewind. Last May, Cleveland was the beast of the East, 64-18 record, coach of the year, defensive player of the year, the #1 seed, and yet sent packing in round 2. This franchise has exactly 1 ring, just 1, and it required the greatest player on earth returning home to secure it. Now, they've added a former MVP. They've won 10 of their last 11 games. Donovan Mitchell is playing out of his mind. This wasn't just a trade, it was a declaration of war. Critics said this: roster had hit its ceiling. So Cleveland pushed all the chips in. Now, the Cavs have morphed into the exact nightmare the NBA was dreading. But before we break down why this trade changes everything, smash that like button and subscribe. You need to know the pain this team endured without LeBron to truly get it. Picture this. The Cleveland Cavaliers have been around for 56 years. 5-6. In over half a century, they have one lonely banner. One. And it took LeBron James, the best baller on the planet, coming back, overcoming a 3-1 deficit against a 73-win Warriors squad that had just broken the regular season record and executing the biggest comeback in league history just to grab it. That's not a sports franchise. That's a hostage crisis. Listen to this stat. It's brutal. Before 2024, Cleveland hadn't won a single playoff series sans LeBron since 1993. 31 years. That's a whole generation of fans who never saw a postseason win unless the king was rocking the wine and gold. Every time he bailed, the floor gave out. Every single time. 2010, LeBron heads to South Beach. Cleveland plummets to 19-63. Worst record in the conference. 2018, LeBron bounces for LA. Cleveland drops to 19-63 again. Same record, same collapse. Like clockwork, the pattern was clear. No LeBron equals 0 relevance. Just a team waiting to implode. But then the script flipped. September 2022. The front office swings a massive trade for Donovan Mitchell, a 3-time All-Star, a walking bucket, and a guy who didn't view Cleveland as a layover. He wanted to build a legacy here. He signed the extension. He bought in. No more rentals, no more praying for LeBron to come save the day. The roster clicked around him. Evan Mobley, a defensive alien with untapped offensive upside. Jarrett Allen, an all-star, anchoring the middle. Darius Garland, a smooth operator who could score and facilitate. The core 4 was locked in. Young, hungry, and for the first time in forever, Cleveland was a threat without needing a savior. Enter 2024. First round versus Orlando, Game 7. Cleveland down by 18 points. The season was on life support until Mitchell went supernova. 89 points in the final 2 games. The Cavs clinched their first series win without LeBron since '93. But then Boston sent them fishing in 5 games. The doubters got loud again. Is this core actually championship material? Cleveland went back to the lab. And what came next? Nobody predicted this. The 2024-25 Cavaliers didn't just show up. They kicked the door down. Opening night win. Then another. And another. They rattled off wins until they were 15-0. Only the 4th squad in league history to start a season that hot. They shattered the franchise record, all with a rookie head coach calling the shots. By the time the buzzer sounded on the regular season, Cleveland sat at 64-18, boasting the #1 offense in the NBA. 3 All-Stars in Mitchell, Garland, and Mobley. Kenny Atkinson snagged Coach of the Year. Evan Mobley locked up Defensive Player of the Year. The stats were legendary. The goal was simple: ring or bust. Round 1 against the Heat, a clean sweep. 4 games, no mercy. Total domination. It looked perfect. Then they ran into Indiana. The Pacers, a team Cleveland owned in the regular season, completely picked them apart. It wasn't a battle, it was a beatdown. 4-1, 5 games of pure misery, confusion, and embarrassment. But game 4, That was the nightmare fuel that haunted Cleveland all summer. Down 41 at the half, 41 points in their own house in a must-win game. The Pacers didn't just defeat the Cavs. They humiliated them on national TV with their own fans watching. And here is the stat that really twists the knife. Indiana went 5-0 in Cleveland's building that entire year. The Cavs couldn't defend their home court once against them. Back-to-back second-round exits. Same outcome, new year, same gut-punching, failure. The offseason was filled with noise. Was this group frauds? Were they just regular season merchants who stacked wins in November but folded under the bright lights? If you're loving this story, hit subscribe because the drama is just starting. The whispers were deafening. Maybe Mitchell is shouldering too much of the burden alone. Maybe the Garland and Mitchell backcourt has finally hit a wall against elite defenses. Perhaps Cleveland peaked too early, revealing themselves as pretenders rather than contenders. Then the 2025-26 season tipped off, and instead of proving the haters wrong, the Cavs validated every nightmare scenario. By late January, the team limped to a 24-20 record, looking nothing like the juggernaut of the previous year. The spark was extinguished, the swagger gone. Injuries ravaged the roster. Mobley went down with a strained calf. Garland struggled with nagging toe issues that turned him into a part-time player. The offense, once a well-oiled machine, completely stalled, suffering through long stretches of ugly basketball. The front office stood at a crossroads: stay the course and hope for a miracle cure, or swing the hammer and completely alter the franchise's destiny. Cleveland chose chaos. On February 3rd, 2026, just 48 hours before the deadline, the Cavs dropped the bomb. Darius Garland, the homegrown hero and two-time All-Star, was shipped off to the LA Clippers. Coming back to Ohio, James Harden. The NBA universe froze. Cleveland had just dismantled their core four. They pushed all their chips to the center of the table for a 36-year-old journeyman, a superstar with more off-court drama than playoff victories in recent years. A legend that many analysts claimed was just an empty stats merchant who vanishes in big moments. Critics called it desperation. Believers called it genius. But before we get into why this works, do me a favor. Hit that like button if you think the Cavs won this trade. Now, here is what the doubters ignored. The fit is seamless. Mitchell needed a partner, a floor general who could orchestrate the offense when defenses trapped him. He needed a guy who could isolate, dissect a half-court set, and close out games. Harden isn't washed up, he's experienced. He's putting up 25.4 points per his highest scoring average in 6 years. The beard still has plenty of gas in the tank, he just needed a reason to drive. The Cavs gave him that motivation, a legitimate shot at a ring, a co-star ready to battle, a management team bold enough to take the risk. GM Kobe Altman laid it out clearly. We believe he raises our ceiling and unlocks real postseason potential. This wasn't a reckless gamble. It was a calculated move for playoff dominance. That is the mission. Cleveland is done caring about regular season standings. Their eyes are locked on April, May, and June. On the whiteboard, it's perfect. Harden's surgical playmaking meshes beautifully with Mitchell's explosive scoring. When Harden holds the rock, defenses must collapse. Every step he takes draws gravity, leaving Mitchell, Allen, and Mobley with wide open looks. But we know games aren't won on paper. The beard had to show up. February 7th, Sacramento. The debut. Harden erupts for 23 points, dropping 15 in the fourth quarter alone. He was unconscious down the stretch, leading Cleveland to their 8th win in 9 games. 3 days later, the real exam. Denver. On the road against Jokic, trailing by 11 in the final frame. Old Cleveland would have packed it in, not this squad. Harden drilled a signature step-back 3 with 32 seconds on the clock to tie it up. Mitchell iced the game with free throws with 0.9 seconds left. Final score, 119-117. In that fourth quarter, the new duo combined for 32 points. They became the first Cavs teammates to each score 15 or more in a single fourth quarter since the play-by-play era began. 2 games, 2 clutch wins. The Harden era is officially open for business. Make sure you subscribe to the channel so you don't miss a second of this playoff run. But this trade goes deeper than just scoring. Let's look at the transformation. Donovan Mitchell isn't just playing good basketball. He is having the absolute best season of his life. We are talking 29.0 points per game, top 5 in the league, a career high. He has already logged 28 games with 30-plus points, 4th most in the NBA. He has snatched a steal in 23 straight contests, a personal best, and leads the entire association in three-pointers made. That is Mitchell right now. 183 triples and climbing. Forget the guy who lost to Boston 2 years ago. This is a superstar in his prime, a lethal weapon, and now he isn't alone. Jarrett Allen has turned into a beast. He is racking up double-doubles. Like clockwork, 4 in a row before the break. He is locking down the paint and feasting as the roll man in this new offense. In Harden's debut against the Kings, Allen exploded for 29 points on ridiculous efficiency. He isn't just surviving the roster shakeup, he is thriving. The lob threat is a nightmare for opposing coaches. And don't forget Evan Mobley, the reigning Defensive Player of the Year, when he is on the floor. He puts up 17.9 points, 8.8 boards, and 4.0 assists while erasing the other team's best option. Calf strain has kept him in street clothes lately, but when he returns, he adds a layer to this squad that nobody else has. As for the bench, they stepped up when the lights got bright. The Wizards came to town for the homestand, and the crowd witnessed absolute magic from an unlikely hero. Sam Merrill, a name that barely registers with the average fan, suddenly erupted for 32 points. He etched his name into the history books, draining 7 straight triples in the first 2 quarters without a single brick. That offensive explosion powered a blowout, with Cleveland cruising to victory by 25. The contest was effectively over before the halftime buzzer even sounded. This proves the squad isn't a one-man show anymore. They are a complete unit. But let's look at the bigger picture regarding the James Harden deal. Come postseason time, this trade changes the entire equation. The land now boasts a pair of lethal finishers. If defenses lock in on Mitchell, the Beard takes the wheel. If they double-team Harden, Spida goes to work attacking the gaps. There is no correct defensive scheme left to run. It's a pick-your-poison scenario where you lose either way. Now, factor in Evan Mobley's elite versatility once he is healthy, add Jarrett Allen's paint, presence, and surround them with snipers who stretch the defense, and you are looking at a roster engineered for deep playoff runs, not just meaningless Tuesday nights in the regular season. We are talking about June basketball, and if you look at the table, that momentum is undeniable. Sitting 4th in the East with a record of 34-21, the Cavs are scorching hot, riding a 5-game streak and taking 10 of their last 11, while the Pistons sit atop the conference at 40-13. Cleveland is peaking at the perfect moment. The road to the finals is wide open right now. The Celtics are hobbled by injuries. The Knicks have talent but run hot and cold. Most importantly, unlike previous campaigns, Cleveland finally possesses the late game closer they desperately needed. And here is the nightmare fuel for the other 29 teams. We haven't even seen their best yet. Mobley has not logged a single minute alongside Harden. The synergy between Spida and the Beard is still in its infancy, having only shared the floor for 3 contests. The coaching staff is still tinkering with the rotations, but if this dominant form is their baseline, beating the reigning champs from Denver, blowing teams out at home, and keeping their cool while trailing by 11 late in the 4th, then you have to ask, what does their full potential look like? The limit does not exist yet, and that unknown factor should send shivers down the spine of the Eastern Conference. For a decade, this city has chased the shadow of LeBron James. But perhaps the chase is over. It is time for them to evolve into the monster that everyone else dreads facing. They went from a dismal 19-63 record post-LeBron to racking up 64 wins behind homegrown talent. From absolutely no postseason series victories in 31 years to being genuine title threats. They didn't ask for a pass. They went all in on their own potential. Acquiring Harden wasn't a rental for one season. It was a move to rewrite the organization's genetic code. Mere competitiveness is no longer enough. They are hunting for jewelry. For years, the Cavs were an afterthought, the franchise that collapsed without the king. But this group, they stopped hoping for a hero and started constructing their own destiny. And suddenly, the laughter around the league has gone silent. All eyes are on Ohio because they have morphed into the powerhouse everyone was afraid of. So, is the Larry O'Brien Trophy coming to Cleveland? Sound off in the comments. Smash that like button and help the channel hit 10,000 subscribers for more hoops analysis. I will catch you in the next video.